All right, guys, so I'm on a time crunch today, so we're going to try to knock this front suspension out within 2 hours. That's my goal at least. So make a long story short, and then I'm going to walk you through the process of what I'm doing. So this is a puck right here. This is a 2.5 inch puck, stock spring. Anybody that has a 2500 knows that this is the cheapest possible way to level the front of your truck, but definitely does not ride the best. The reason that being, obviously it's a 2500, so the stock spring doesn't ride that well to begin with. Add a little bit of puck on it, that doesn't help. But the Bilstein 1500 or 5100, it didn't do bad. It helped a little bit, but at the end of the day, this setup was a very cheap setup. So to replace that, got on Facebook Marketplace today and actually a set of Thuren soft rods. They're they're a 2-inch level versus the 2.5 that I have, which in a perfect world, I would have liked to go with a 1 inch up front instead of a 2 that I have right now, and then lower the rear on 1/2 inch. But when you find good deals, you kind of just jump on them. So what I'm gonna do is, I'll show you guys, I'm gonna get the frame jacked up first. It's a solid front axle. The reason you wanna do that is so that you can get it to drop the whole way down. Once I get the frame jacked up on both sides, I'm gonna unbolt both shocks, and then really it's really simple from that point. If you guys have leveled a 2500 Ram, they're super easy, but I'll still show you guys what I'm doing. I'm just kind of on a time crunch. And also just to show you guys side profile shot. So rear stock, front is literally just a 2.5 inch puck for the front that I think I got off Amazon like forever ago. So if any of the subscribers want that puck and you're willing to pay shipping, I will gladly send that to you. Just comment down below, send that, and obviously shout the channel out, and then we'll go from there. But anybody that wants that puck, just comment below, provide your information. I should have business contact information in my profile. Email that, and I'll gladly send that to you. It's not like it's that much, but it will save you $100. So you can see the front's raked a little bit, and hopefully I'm going to get a tape measure, and I'm going to measure exactly what this gap difference is right here. So hopefully that gap difference is actually a 1/2 inch. All right, guys, so top of the tire to the top of the fender, just a little under 11, maybe 10 and 70, a little more. Between 11 and 10 and 7/8. So that's where we're at. Let's see what happens when we put the 2-inch left. All right, guys, so truck's jacked up. First thing I did, now this is the same for both sides, this brake bracket right here, you want to loosen it. It's a 13 millimeter from the frame. Very next thing I'm going to do is, I do have jacks for the front to support the front frame. I'm going to go ahead and drop this bolt. Same exact thing for both sides. I don't know the size of this yet. Once I do that, I should be able to undo this. And reality is this whole front should drop down with the support of the jacks. So make sure you guys have the jacks under here once you drop these. And really, in theory, once I undo that, this should come out with no hesitation. The new one should come in. That's not how this shit works at all, but that's how it should work. So, all right, guys. So this is how your front axle setup's gonna look. The only thing I wish I would have did, I guess, for a little bit more clearance, but I didn't need to. I don't really like that end link, how much angle's on that, but if it rips the boot, it'll just give me a reason to get better ones. When I put this back in, this isolator cup, guys, some shops, they'll cut this little nipple off here, and this is actually a guide that's going to go back up into the body itself. If you do not have that, you're really going to need to go buy a new set of isolators. These ones don't look too bad, actually, for how many miles are on the truck, so I'm just going to reuse them. There's a part number for you. But if the shop that you had cut that off, you need to go get yourself a new one, because the orientation of this, that spring really needs to butt up to that. And without that little tab there resting up against the body, it really doesn't allow it. So putting the Thurns back in, and then literally, guys, it's rinse and repeat. All right, guys, so I'm going to do a video too, I guess, part of this to say about how the ride quality is of the soft rods. But you can see that the axle is kind of canted forward a little bit, which is fine. Whenever we put the weight of the vehicle on, it'll actually offset itself. And then when you get an alignment done, they'll actually adjust the axle to where it doesn't look like that. Biggest thing is, whenever you get the shock back in, your biggest concern right here is just making sure that this top part is actually butted up against this isolator here. You want to make sure that's there, because remember, the tab in here so that doesn't go anywhere. So as long as you have that, everything else is gonna go together fine. We're pretty much ready to drop the jacks in the front, put the wheels back on, and take it for a ride and see how it is. All right, guys, so just to finish up the video, then I'm gonna do a drive of how it actually feels. It definitely is dead set level now. I think in the other video you could definitely tell. I'll probably actually just refer another link here real quick, or like a picture of how it looked before. I think it's dead set level. In a perfect world, I would have liked to go 1 inch up front and a 1/2 inch in the back on a drop. I think that would have almost been a little bit better, but I think it's dead set level now. If not, the rear might be. So I'm going to measure once I get home to see the height difference. Actually, I need to measure here because it's on the perfect surface, but it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, so do a little drive. So my driveway's slanted a little bit, but I need to get a tape measure out before I end this video. So this is how the truck's sitting right now. I will say this is a couple days after the install. I've driven the truck couple trips, like about an hour long, and the ride is way different, like well worth the money. Well worth it. I probably should have did this sooner, but before I measure this to see if it's actually the distance, guys, remember I'm giving away the free puck kit that came with this. It's actually on the shelf right there. So comment in the video. You have to comment in the video, and I'll just ship it. All you got to do is pay shipping for it. So let me measure this, and 10 out of 10 mod. All right, guys, close the video out. This is the new measurement. Which I'd have to go back and see the video to see if it is different. But I can tell you this, physically, from watching both the videos, it is definitely, the front came down a little bit, and I've noticed that it's not such a big jump. But anyway, guys, if you're wondering about Thuren, if you're wondering if they're good, if you're wondering if you should spend the money, 100%. This is probably one of the best riding 2500s I've been in. I'm gonna do the active sway bar. I'm gonna do the rear. They have a 1/2 inch Thuren spring that I'm gonna replace. So all that stuff's coming up, guys. Like the video, comment, subscribe, everything. Support those who support you. Until next time.